actually, this is as real as it gets.
Hey, this is Marcia Prince, IFBB Bikini Pro and Guest Berry Nutrition spokesmodel, and you are listening to the UCW radio show, In Your Face.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In Your Face.
All right, welcome to the UCW radio show, and there's a lot that's been going on in the world, from losing some great people in the music industry, like Donna Summer. She just passed away, and going forward to business and social media. Yeah, Facebook just went public. Most anticipated IPO in some time. They outdid General Motors in the first day of trading, which is incredible. I'm just curious on how they're going to be able to monetize the mobile version of Facebook, because from what I understand, more people use the mobile version than they do the online version, the regular thing that you go on your computer with. So just curious on how they're going to make that all work out. All right, and moving forward, we've had a lot of great guests on the show. We continue to have great guests coming on. I'm excited. Even today, we have a really great guest coming on the show. In the world of bodybuilding, you have, everyone knows Arnold. Everyone knows Lou Ferrigno, so on and so forth. You have other bodybuilders that are smartening up. Okay, becoming businessmen and branding their name, branding products, and actually creating a solid foundation. And these individuals are great examples, and I'm going to call them role models for the younger people coming up in that line of business, or in business in general. Branding yourself is an important thing. I had Lee Hawkins from the Wall Street Journal on, and he couldn't stress that enough. Branding yourself, like Donald Trump, you have to brand yourself. Okay, now and that's the deal with that. This next individual, he's all about branding himself. He's all about business and building up, and he is an IFBB pro bodybuilder. Came up the ranks. He was in the Special Forces, so on and so forth. Anyway, he is now a Mr. Olympia competitor. Okay, great guy, and we're going to talk to him and find out more about what he has going on and what he's been up to, and get a glimpse into his journey to date. So he's actually waiting on hold. So without further ado, let's bring on IFBB pro bodybuilder Mark Alvisi. Mark, welcome to the UCW radio show. How are you?
Doing good. How you doing, Lou?
Pretty good. Got you on here. You're in Florida, IFBB Pro. Yeah, we're having a good night so far.
Awesome. Yeah, I tell you, the weather's really nice today here in South Florida.
Oh yeah, throw it in my face. But you know what? It's springtime, which is kind of summerish in New York, so we're doing all right.
Yeah.
Mark, why don't you? A lot of our listeners may not be very familiar with you, which they should be, but you have some people that don't follow bodybuilding, so maybe you want to give them some highlights of who you are.
Well, long story short, I guess I'm most notably known for being a professional bodybuilder. I've been competing since 2001, and I've competed in a few different organizations. I kind of got my feet wet back in 2001 in the NABF and then the Muscle Mania organization, which I earned pro status in both of those organizations. And then I moved on to the MPC in 2003, which is the National Physique Committee.
Right.
And I obviously moved up through the ranks. And in 2009, I won the USA Championships, and that qualified me for pro status in the IFBB. So that's kind of a little bit about my bodybuilding career. But the entire time I was through my career, I was also involved in the industry, the sports nutrition industry, and working with various high-profile companies like VPX Sports and most recently like Gaspari Nutrition, being a sponsored athlete. And I've done everything from sales to being a sponsored athlete. So I've had the ability to kind of like see the whole industry from different various points of it. Now I'm a business owner and I own a retail sports nutrition store called Pro Sports Nutrition. And so it just seems like this is kind of like my gig, whether I'm competing or doing sales or I'm in the retail position, this is kind of seems to be my home for the last 15 years.
Okay, well, look, those are the highlights of you. At the end of the day, you're an NPC USA overall champion. Okay,
yes.
You got your pro card, and just for the layman, that kind of throws you into the Mr. Olympia type of competition. Okay, where
right.
you can actually get in there. So for those that aren't familiar with it, you got Arnold. I mean, he's the most famous Mr. Olympia, but that puts you in that realm. Okay.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be even associated with some of those great athletes. My pro debut, I qualified for the Olympia, my pro debut in 2010. So it's just an honor just to be even considered someone with the potential to actually step on that Olympia stage. So, it's nothing I didn't really expect to go that far in the very beginning when I started toying around with the idea of competing. It just never really was my goal to be Mr. Olympia by any means. I just wanted to see where I stood and see how far I could take it. And then once you hit a certain milestone, then you start looking at the next best thing. And for me, the major thing was to win that USA Championship. I set my sights on the USA Championships probably back in 2003. And, it took me about 6 years to get there. But I did that show 3 times before I won it on the third time.
Well, something, you have a lot of passion, and that I know, from you just over the years. Okay. But I think that, and again, this is my personal opinion. I think, a lot of that passion and that drive, you get from, your parents. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
partially. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, they you're first generation, Italian American. So,
correct.
Your parents, they came here and they had to build a foundation for you to have the life that you have or that you had growing up.
Right.
Okay. So that helped you, I guess, in your path to going after what you want, not having it handed to you. You actually went out and fought for this.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's kind of funny. I joke about this all the time, but when I was growing up, if I wanted anything, I had to go get it myself. There was no handouts in my house, I can tell you that.
But that's what makes you who you are, and that's a good way to be, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, I tell you, it definitely, with my upbringing, it definitely taught me the value of earning your own dollar, and basically, if you want something, nobody's going to hand it out to you. That's just the way I was brought up. So, I learned at a very young age that hard work is the only hard work and the right opportunities is really the only way I'm going to get what I want.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the only. I mean that's the way you have to look at it. Some people live in fantasy land because they've had things handed to them, since they're young.
Yeah, I think that's someone at a disadvantage, honestly.
Yeah, well, because you don't know how to fight for what you want, and when you don't have people out there giving it to you, what do you wind up doing? Doing stupid things. And that happens all the time. I mean,
Sure.
even in bodybuilding, you have that. People just do, just they can't handle losing. They can't handle, rejection. It happens, But you started training when you were a kid. What were you, like 11, 12 years old? You started hitting the weights.
Yeah, I mean, I was pulling. At first, I was probably 12 years old. My dad bought me my first weight bench. Obviously, I'm a kid. I don't know what I was doing, but it was. I kind of was intrigued by it just by picking up the old magazines, old bodybuilding magazines. With like ironically, Rich Gaspari and Lee Haney battling it out. And, this is back in those days. Yeah. And, it was kind of like, it intrigued me. And I started kind of toying around with light weights, but I never really knew what I was doing or didn't really start training until I was 18 years old, and I actually joined the military and I went away to the Army. Mm-hmm. And then I had access to like really a real gym. And that's when I started to really notice my body starting to change and grow.
Oh, so you're a veteran.
Yes.
Okay. See, that's something a lot of people don't know. Come Veterans Day, Memorial Day, that means a lot to you.
Well, I put my time in. It's a great experience, just to give you a whole nother level of perspective on life. I can tell you that. Civilian life is, some things that you think are such a big deal and so hard and so challenging, it really falls by the wayside when you think about what soldiers are, what a day in the life of is a soldier. Mm-hmm. Whether you're digging your own foxhole to sleep in at night and it's raining, or it's freezing, or you're in the desert and you can't really sleep well because you're afraid that you're going to get attacked. I mean, that when your life's on the line, that's a whole, all of a sudden your perspective changes a little bit. So I think it's a good experience for anybody to at least kind of put you in check a little bit.
Yeah, it makes you appreciate what you have that's in front of you right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So now, when you came out of the military, did you just automatically come out and start training hard and say to yourself, "Hey, you know what? I like this bodybuilding stuff. I want to really pursue it," or did something else happen that sparked you going in that direction?
Well, the whole time I was in the Army, I just was really into that's all I really did is I just, I did my Army thing and then I just went to the gym after, we were done doing our, whatever we had to do for the day. Mm-hmm. They'd always give us time to hit the gym. So that was my passion. I spent a lot of time in the gym every day. And really, I didn't really know anything about the competitive side of it. I just wanted to see how big and strong I could get, And then once I got out, I moved down to South Florida because they had a really good job opportunity. I started training in a gym. It was a Gold's Gym, and the head trainer was actually a NPC judge, and he was also a three-time Mr. Florida title holder. Mm-hmm. So he's the first one that actually kind of put it in my head that I should try competing. And my first reaction was, "Oh God, I don't know nothing about that. I don't want to put those little shorts on, and I just can't see myself doing that." Mm-hmm. This is kind of, I couldn't relate to that because I had never done anything like that.
Right.
I just saw the magazines when the guys were just in the gym and they're just huge and all that stuff. But the more bodybuilding, it's a big thing down here in South Florida. A lot of people are competitive. There's a lot of shows and things like that. So he said, he goes, "Oh, you got the genetics. I'm telling you, pick a show. I'll help you get ready." And I said, let me just go check out one of these shows. So I went to one of the local contests just to see what all the hype was about. And I said, I asked myself, can I really see myself up there doing this? Can I, I had no idea if I was good at it or not. So I thought about it for 2 months. And finally went back to him. I said, "Okay, you know what? I'll give it a shot." And he trained me for my first show, and I actually won the Florida State title my first contest.
Well, that's an accomplishment.
Well, that's all it took to get me hooked.
Yeah. But and you're a transport from Pennsylvania.
Originally, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I've been down here since '99, and I really enjoy it in South Florida. I love the weather, I love the water. So I guess I got hooked to competitive bodybuilding, but I don't want people to think that bodybuilding or a bodybuilder is what defines me, because that'd be giving someone the wrong impression. Yes, I am a bodybuilder, but I am a competitive bodybuilder. But at the same time, I competed all these years, and I continue to compete just for my own personal achievement, because I just have goals within the sport that I want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's also business.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to spend, I've spent the last 20 years within this, and I call it an expensive hobby, unless you're like top 6 Olympia.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's an expensive hobby. And I figured if I'm going to spend all this time and effort being somebody in this industry, then I better learn how to make money and benefit from it financially if I'm going to continue doing this. Because if you're just putting money in and you're not cashing in at some level, how long can you continue doing that?
No.
So that's why, I took advantage of, making all the contacts and with the sponsorships. And, most recently with my last sponsor, Gaspari Nutrition, I spent over 3 years as a Gaspari Nutrition sponsored athlete. And, it really gave me the ability to travel the world,
mm-hmm.
which, they sent me to Poland and Australia. And, I would never go to Australia or Poland for what? I would never have a reason to go.
Right.
And it gives me the ability to, travel around the world and meet my fans from across the world, across the globe. Australia's 20 hours by plane.
Yeah.
From here in Florida. So, it was a trip.
Oh yeah, that's a long trip, and I have to interject. Rich and Liz Gaspari. And again, they started their company from nothing. He started that company from the back of a van, and he built it to what it is today. And I have nothing but respect. I had him on my show. I have nothing but respect for him and his wife for what they've done, and they opened up doors, which allowed you and other athletes that take advantage of it to actually learn how to make money from what you're doing.
Yeah, and that was one of the best opportunities that I had in the industry. Would be the last 3 years with that company and being able to travel around the world with Rich or with some of the other athletes, and I got a chance to meet my fans and meet other promoters around the world and the country, meet distributors. Because, at the end of the day, these are all business contacts as well.
Right.
And, one thing I heard a long time ago is, if you want to be successful, do what successful people do.
Mm-hmm.
And to try to sponge off of people that are where you want to be and try to learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
And, keep it simple. Rich put a lot of hard work and effort, and he still does. And he's got to be one of the hardest working CEOs I think I know.
Yeah, he scares me. He came to me and said, you're going to come train with me for one day? I said, no.
Well, you know why? Because before anything, Rich is still a bodybuilder at heart.
Yeah.
And he's always gonna have that drive to that competitive drive and that feeling that you just want to still always be on your A game. Doesn't leave you, especially if you're a competitive bodybuilder, an IFBB pro. It takes a tremendous amount of work to get to that level, and then to continue at that level.
But I know what he does to people. That's what scared me.
Yeah, I know. Well, trust me, I've been along for that ride with him a few times myself. So, Rich is a lot of fun. He loves the kind. He'll always be competitive. He likes to mess around with us, and compete with us, just mess around in the gym. So, and you don't sleep on that guy because he's strong.
Yeah,
he's strong, and he's got endurance.
Oh yeah.
But that was the benefit. Is I just said, wow, here's a guy that kind of like came up as a bodybuilder and saw a lot of success early in life, early on in his career, and he turned that into a very profitable business.
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense, I'm not going to try and reinvent the wheel here. I just I've come across an opportunity for myself, and I'm just trying to kind of like follow suit of guys like Rich or Lee Labrada, Dorian Yates, a lot of these guys that have been made a name for themselves in the industry, and then they turned it into a profitable sports nutrition company or any type of business in this industry.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of people involved in bodybuilding. okay, going from way back when till today. You have a lot of people involved competing. The people that I see as being the most successful are the people that early on say, hey, I have to line this up and brand myself. So I become a brand. Like a Donald Trump, you become a brand, and you're able to monetize what you're doing that'll take you from your competitive days to when you're not competing anymore. And you have a viable business, a viable entity that's bringing you income for hopefully for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I call that an exit strategy.
Yeah, well, it has to be. Because
I always try to be a couple of steps ahead.
Well, you have to be, because at the end of the day, is being realistic. You can't be young forever. You can't do this for. I mean, you can keep in shape forever, but you can't compete. I mean, I guess some people try, but you want to be able to enjoy your life a little bit. And I want to just clarify this for anyone that's listening. Right now you're not associated with Gaspari Nutrition as a sponsored athlete, but it wasn't anything negative.
No, of course not. It was just basically, I signed a 2-year contract. I mean, my initial contract was for a year, and then when I re-signed, I signed for 2 more years. And then what happened is, as the contract was about to expire, I was already in the works of creating my own brand of a product line. And, when it came time to make that decision on whether I wanted to pursue another 2-year contract with Gaspari, even before we spoke about it, I had to make a decision that if I was going to pursue another 2-year contract with Gaspari, that was going to tie me up for another 2 years, and that would stall my ability to launch my own company.
Right.
And I felt like, it's nice, having that contract security with the money and everything that comes along with it. But at the same time, I kind of had to put my head on the chopping block for, and kind of go all in and decide that I'm going to push forward with launching my brand, in spite of not having the security of a contract, because I was ready to step out on my own. And fortunately, I came across something that's it's really unique, and it's really awesome, and that's why I made a decision to pursue launching my new brand, and that way I can be the CEO of my company, and God willing, I could be in something like in Rich's shoes, years down the road, where I'm traveling the world and expanding my company.
Right. Well, I mean, when you made the decision, and again, so people can see the picture. You have a lucrative contract in front of you, which that's your job, and that's what you do. You get paid to stay in shape and compete and everything, and that's what you do. Or on the other hand, roll the dice, start your own business, build your own empire. But then you're risking what's in your left hand to go with what's in your right hand, But it takes it takes a lot of balls to go for the right hand, and you did that.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to make yourself uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To have something better down the road.
Well, I don't think anyone that's complacent, and they're comfortable with their position, that's the end of their growth. They don't go any further.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and you're looking to go as far. I mean, you're reaching for the stars. Worst case, you'll fall on the moon, but you'll get as close to your destination as possible, and that's what you're fighting for.
Well, at the end of the day, I also had to look at, I'm never going to get the financial security that I'd like to achieve in my life by working for someone else and helping build their brand. Mm-hmm. It was a great learning experience. It's like going to school, but at the same time, I'm 35 years old, and, I want to kind of be set up when I'm in my 40s, and already be well on the road to, achieving what I'd like to achieve financially.
I'm sure when you went to make this move that Rich respected you for doing that.
Well, Rich is he's always preached to us, or all his athletes, that you guys have to go out and brand yourselves and take advantage of all the opportunities to brand your name and your image and everything else. And that was one of the things that he tried to really push on us is, listen, I'm not going to just, give you guys a free ride and, you're going to get out there. I'm going to, you're going to travel the world. We're going to, he uses his athletes. He gets us, he gets us out there and get us exposure so that we could, benefit from it and do other things that could help us, make additional income. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of, it's his own business model. So obviously, he's going to have to, appreciate what I've done as far as, trying to emulate what he did.
I have no doubt that he's definitely proud. Even he may or may not admit it publicly, but I'm sure he's proud because, it's like, I'll give this analogy, it's like a father and son. You groom someone.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, well, the thing is, and Rich and I have always gotten along great, and, we're on great terms. We were hanging out at the Arnold Classic. So Rich is a lot of fun. It's so funny because, honestly, I feel like we are very similar in a lot of ways, and it's ironic. He's a first generation Italian. I believe he's first generation, and from Abruzzi, which is the same region that my family's from.
Yeah, he is first generation.
Yeah. So we're both first generation Italian Americans. We're both from the same region of Abruzzi. I mean, we had these conversations and laughed about it. And we're both have that same kind of crazy drive. And, I think part of it is just, I guess our background, and just the culture, I guess. Yeah. That probably has a lot to do with it. And, so he actually, I remember times he told me that I kind of reminded him of like a younger version of him, and he's actually, we've had that conversation before because, we have a lot of similarities. So, hey, if I could be where he's at 10 years from now, I'm doing pretty good.
I think nothing is standing in your way but you, and you're not letting yourself stand in your way. So, I have no doubt you're going to be successful with what you're doing. And
just time and commitment.
Yeah, but you're doing it. That's why when I saw you and Rich together, and I was looking at you, I mean, I said, you know what? And for me, on the outside looking in, that you reminded me a little of him. Okay, and that's why getting you on the show and everything, I want people to realize it because the reality is, Mark, you're just building your new company. And this, with your passion, your drive, and the people that are around you, that are surrounding you, are going to help you to bring this to where you want it to be.
Yeah, well, that's and trust me, I've had a lot of business ventures over the years, and I got to tell you, I've failed a lot of things that I gave 100% effort, and things don't always pan out. I mean, they might hold you for a while, but you never hit it. So fortunately, I've got a business partner that is already a very successful guy.
Good.
So that helps a lot when you're not doing everything yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, Thomas Edison failed. Okay. Yeah. People fail, and the reality is that you'll probably have more failures than you have successes, but your successes will outshine any of your failures. You forget about them.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to worry about, this deal that didn't really quite pan out, or that deal that didn't quite pan out when our company is doing tens of millions a year in sales, then I'm not going to worry about that. But, one thing that's constant is every successful person I've ever met in my life failed miserably over and over again before they ever saw any major success.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at somebody like Donald Trump. The guy went bankrupt 2 or 3 times. Yeah. But if that doesn't prove anything as far as branding yourself and being the master of the comeback on your own life, okay, then nothing's gonna bring that reality to you, And now moving on, okay, let's talk about pro sports nutrition. Let's talk about what you have there.
Well, back in 2010, I was training for. After 2009, I won the USA Championships, and I earned my pro card.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2010, I was training for my pro debut at the Europa Pro in Dallas in August. And I also was kicking around the idea of maybe opening a nutrition store.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing all the research. What's it going to take financially? How much money I'm going to have to come up with, and finding a location, and I did all this as I was off-season training for my pro debut, and then obviously as I was pre-contest, when I had made the decision that I'm going to do this. Now I'm actually putting all the work together.
Mm-hmm.
And I put the business plan together, and I put, how much money I'm going to need and how much I'm short.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gave me a whole new motivation to place really high at the Europa,
mm-hmm.
because there was prize money involved.
Right.
So I said, well, if I do good at this show, I'm going to have the money I need to open this store, because not only the prize money for second place, but then I also got a bonus from Gaspari for placing second in a pro show. Mm-hmm. And then I also had other, photo shoots, like paid shoots and stuff like that. So it was a lot of motivation when I just didn't want to keep pushing those last couple of weeks
mm-hmm.
to push really hard, because all I can think about is I need this money so I can open this store, because I wanted to have something, to build up, so that after I was done competing, I already have something in place.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up, I guess everything worked out for me, because I placed second, and they qualified me for the Olympia, and but it also got me the extra funds I needed to really do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to open up the store at Delray Beach just before the Olympia.
All right, so all that's pretty recent. All right, on that note, Mark, let's take a little break, and we're going to be back with IFBB pro bodybuilder Mark Alvisi.
Hey, you want to see something cool? Check this out. My name's Anitra, and I'm going to rock your world.
Wow. Oh my God, look at that.
Wow. Oh my God. Along with my boys Mikey and Joey, I need the Shalava Brothers stack. We're knocking down walls and taking names. The brothers actually getting something done. And everyone gets to play.
Progress is slow. We should be finished by Christmas.
Girls with power tools, rule.
We're not just bringing back the den, baby. We're making mega dens that'll blow you away.
Wow!
Anitra, it's unbelievable.
That is cool.
You want some of this? Facial recognition, motion activating. They're gonna wet their pants.
This may be the coolest room I have ever seen.
Because life is too short to live without a mega den.
It feels like these walls are closing in. This roof is caving in. Fuck, it's time to raise it then. You're dazing over like pages in. My poker rhymes got 'em crooking, boys. Crooked mind of mine got 'em all shook and scared to look in my eyes. I slowed that fucking clock. I took the time and I came up from behind and pretty much snuck up and fucked up this game up. Better be careful when you bring my name up. Fuck this game, that ain't what I came to claim. But the game ain't gonna be the same on the day that I leave it. But I swear one way or another, I'ma make these fucking haters believe it. I swear to God, won't swear to ride. I'm a man of my word, so your fucking head's better not. I'll fuck around in this bitch and roast everybody. Sleep on me, that pillar is where your head alive. Permanently bitches petty by. This world is my Easter egg, get prepared to die. My head is small, my confidence is up, the stage is my pedestal. I'm unstoppable, incredible, Hulk One thing about music, when it hits you feel no pain. And I swear I got this shit that make these bitches go insane. So they tell me that they love me, I know better than that. It's just game, it's just what comes with the fame. And I'm ready for that, I'm just saying, but I really can't complain. Everything is kosher, 2 thumbs up, Bieber and Roper. I really can't see the end, getting any closer. But I'll probably still be the man when everything is over. So I'm riding through the city with my high beams on. Can you see me, can you see me, get your vibes in on. Y'all just do not fit the picture, turn your widescreen on. If you thinking I'ma quit before I die, dream on. Man, they treat me like a legend, am I really this cold? I'm really too young to be feeling this old. It's about time you admit it, who you kidding? Man, nobody's ever done it like I did it.
My heart is telling me to be different. It's about time for me to move on. Swallow everything that I learned. I'm at a point of no return. 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 I'm at a point of no return.
I'm hot, motherfucker. Get a plate, bitch. Don't say shit. Get your face lift. Rose rich. Let the champagne drip. Nigga swag jack. This LA shit, get it back, give it back, ain't bout shit, snap back, them ain't even rare, where the tag, whack ass, all up in my ear, bitch, back, I bag bad bitches, motherfucker, cash stacks, yellow nigga, no cabs, got the phantom out, no mask, get your camera out, one flash, hot beam, steady shot, left your ass, T-Raw, I'm so Lokes on Chucks, low black beanie dog. Patron top ball straight from the liquor store. I'm turned up, I can't feel my face.
My heart is telling me to be different. It's about time for me to move on. Swallow everything that I learned. I'm at a point of no return. No return. No return. No return. No return. No return. I'm at a point of no return.
The Avengers is doing very well in the box office. In fact, the movie has just joined the $1 billion movie club, which is excellent. I heard it's a really good movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited to see it.
All right, so I saw it. First of all, I love it, and I wish I had predicted it ahead of time that it was going to do this well, although it's the most obvious thing in the world. But why? Because anytime you bring together cool characters from different movies or different spheres, it always works. I mean, I always go back to the example of wrestling. Like when anybody came out of another league, like Ric Flair came to the WWF, it was, or the Road Warriors came, it was like the coolest thing that ever happened, right? Collision of the worlds. So when you got Iron Man and Thor, let alone Captain America, Hulk, etc., in the same movie, are you frickin' kidding me?
Yeah, it's a superhero ensemble cast.
Yeah, so of course it was going to kill, it was going to destroy everything in its path, and it is. So it's broken a record for first week release, second week release. It broke $103 million in its second week, which is unreal, right?
100 days to go before the opening ceremony at the London 2012 Olympics. The major venues like the stadium are built, but there's still plenty more work to do. And Sebastian Coe, chairman of the local organizing committee, says it's a good time to take stock as the countdown that started from the moment of winning the bid for the Games builds to a climax.
When you're talking about 7 years, 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, but actually when you're really talking about days, and we're talking, I don't know, 12 Wednesdays or something. I mean, it really is, it's very close.
And it's even closer when you consider more than 10,000 athletes from 204 countries will start moving into the Olympic Village 2 weeks ahead of the ceremony. Security and transportation remain major challenges. Moving millions of extra people around the city on a strained public transport system and already jammed roads won't be easy. Keeping participants and spectators alike safe from terrorist attack has been a priority from day one. But despite all the worries and decisions coming at him thick and fast, Lord Coe says he continues to sleep soundly at night.
We will all have to do the best work of our lives, and we will need every minute of every day in order to achieve that. But I'm confident that we will do that.
One specific thing he's pleased about is the big demand for Olympic tickets inside Britain and internationally. The scientists can keep up with the athletes trying to cheat their way to victory at the Olympics using banned performance-enhancing drugs. That's according to the man in charge of a laboratory that'll be testing samples taken from the competitors at the London 2012 Games. Samples of urine and samples of blood, perhaps as many as 6,000 all told during the course of the competition. Professor David Cowan directs the King's College Olympic Drug Control Center and the 150 people who'll be running the machines there to test the samples swiftly.
The mass spectrometers that we use, the very sophisticated instruments, will actually tell us the components that are in a sample, be it blood or urine, are very sophisticated now. They're far more sensitive than they were in Beijing, and they can actually work far more rapidly than they did.
But Cowan's team isn't just depending on the liquid chromatography and mass spectrometry machines spotting specific banned substances to catch those trying to break the rules. He says data from an athlete's past test results could be key to finding new cheating techniques.
If you take a particular substance, what we'll see is a suppression of your natural hormones. And once we see that suppression, we can then start looking harder, and that would enable the previously unknown compound to be discovered.
So Cowan is confident his massive lab won't miss things, even substances not encountered before. Karen Sloan, The Associated Press.
All right, we're back on the UCW radio show with IFBB Pro Bodybuilder. We're spending time with him, Mark Alvisi. Mark, we were talking about your store, and I'm just curious, do you have an actual product line, or is it just a store?
Well, basically, it's just a store. I mean, I carry all the major brands, but I didn't private label like a product line like Pro Sports or anything like that, because I could do that, but I decided that I wanted to kind of go and create a whole, my own company, a brand separate from the nutrition store, because a lot of times people are not crazy about your company. You walk into a store and then they try to do the bait and switch and put you on their product, which is cheaper and this and that. And I just let people do what they do best. I have a lot of different brands that I work closely with that I think they make great products, and different categories, different brands make different products. Some better than the others in different categories. So I just like to promote and push the ones that I think are the best for that category. And because that's just a whole nother deal, when you have to start formulating this and that. And I'm learning that with launching this new company. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff of formulating a product line. We're just coming out, we're just launching one product right now. And it's there's a lot that goes into it, from formulations to the legal to, there's a lot. It's a good learning experience. And thank God I have, I got a business partner that, is very business savvy, and he's, I'm not, for once in my life, I'm not doing something all by myself.
Well, that's good. To have somebody by your side that is actually going to push with you to make things happen.
Yeah, it helps.
And you're going to become a mad scientist.
Yeah, well, you know, the funny thing is, I've got some great relationships. I've got a really great formulator that is on my team. That is he's formulated some other products that are on the market now. So going forward, but our basically our cornerstone, or whatever you want to call it, flagship products for the brand, which the brand name is Revive Sciences, is in a nutshell, what I did was I licensed a formula from a pharmaceutical company that it's a hydrolyzed collagen protein, and they've been using this formula for the last 15 years, and their major clients or customers are thousands of hospitals and medical facilities all over the country.
Okay.
And what they use this for in the medical industry and in the hospitals is for wound healing.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't realize, because it never really got so much press as much press as like whey protein or some of the others, is collagen protein. Collagen is the key component in all your connective tissue, your connective tissue, your tendons, your ligaments, your skin, your hair, your nails. This is the key component. This is like the bricks that build the house.
Okay.
And as we age, we get past our 30s, just like testosterone and growth hormone and everything else, your collagen levels decline, meaning your body just is not producing as much of it as it is before you're 30.
Right.
That obviously is going to lead to, fine lines and wrinkles in the skin. You lose elasticity in your skin. You lose elasticity in your connective tissue. So it weakens your connective tissue. So it makes you more at a risk of tearing something, like tearing a pec or a bicep, anything that connects that muscle to that, to your bone. It's easier to get, aches and pains,
Right.
joint pain, all that stuff. And, and it's amazing how that stuff really starts to, it starts to really be noticeable in your 30s, 40s, and then, and then beyond.
Right.
So, I did a little bit of research about this, and, I found this product, this pharmaceutical version, and I started taking it myself.
Okay.
And I was completely blown away. I was totally amazed that this stuff, the only thing I ever knew to take care of, to help me with, I constantly had pain, like with tendonitis and, like tennis elbow, stuff like that. Little tweaks and twinges, and the shoulders, just from everyday working out, beating yourself up in the gym, or, if you're a baseball player, you play tennis, whatever it is, if you're active, you're going to experience some type of aches and pains and joint pain.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're not, So I started taking this stuff, and within 6 weeks, I had no more pain. And it just blew my mind, because I've tried it all. Glucosamine, Jordan MSM, you name it. And I never really noticed any major relief with any of those other products. So then it sold me right away. At that point, I started recommending it to my customers.
Right.
And I'll be damned if everybody didn't have the same result, and they're totally freaking out. And that pharmaceutical version that I was basically promoting, I was selling more of that in my store, 10 times more of that than any other product. And this is with no advertising, purely word of mouth.
Right.
Because when something works so good, what do? You tell your friends.
Of course.
So I had an influx of people coming in, and the thing is, it's not like a pre-workout or a fat burner where, not everybody's going to take a fat burner. Right. Not everyone is going to take a pre-workout, because not everybody works out.
Right.
Not everybody's going to take a weight gainer. Some people want to lose weight. Some people want to gain weight. It depends. With a product like this, there's not too many people that don't have joint pain, tendon pain, aches, twinges, little injuries, sports injuries, bad hip, bad knee, torn rotator, all this stuff.
That's all me.
So, yeah, well, that's everybody I talk to every day that walks through the door in my store. So the demographic is so wide, it just made sense to me because I'm sitting here thinking, okay, the joint market is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yep.
It's a multi-billion-dollar market. And the best thing out there that they could come up with is take glucosamine or take, this, glucosamine, MSM. There's a couple things out there that's the first thing that somebody's going to tell you to take.
Right.
And I've tried it, and it doesn't really work that well.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's damn expensive, though, I'll tell you that much.
Well, yeah, of course it is. You know why? Because a lot of people will pay whatever it takes not to have pain.
Yeah.
So a light bulb went off in my head, and I go, wow, so this stuff works like this. It's a tangible result within 4 to 6 weeks, and nobody knows about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I got excited, and I said, okay, I got a product here that's not being marketed anywhere. Nobody knows about it. I'm selling more of this stuff than anything else on my shelves that people are throwing thousands and thousands of dollars in marketing at. I said, this is going to be a home run. So then I went to work with seeing if I could license the formula, strike up a deal with the pharmaceutical company, and these things don't happen overnight.
Of course not.
And but long story short, I got the licensing deal, and ironically, my partner was someone that I had put on the product over a year ago, and he swore by it. He loved it so much that he decided that he's essentially my money guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because listen, you don't launch a sports nutrition product line with a few grand.
Right.
It costs a lot.
Yeah, it does.
And he's already a very successful guy. He's in the shipping business. He has a fulfillment company, fulfillment warehouses. So he's already in that business, not sports nutrition industry, but in fulfillment.
Right.
So it was a real good thing that I brought him this product and the vision that I like to do, and he has the means to kind of get the ball rolling, and then also handle the distribution of it.
Okay, well, that's great because for someone you need someone like that because you're having the idea and having a partner that you can actually execute. There's nothing better than that. Yeah.
Well, it's really it's good because he's got a whole network of assets that are going to help us grow this company on top of on the sales end of what what connections I've made around the world and what I've learned just from being a part of the growth of a lot of these major companies. I mean, I was employed by VPX Sports back in 2001 when hardly no one even knew who they were. And I've been a part of a number of big name companies, and I've watched them grow from a couple $1 million a year companies to over $100 million a year companies. So I kind of been there, done that, and I've seen it happen. And I'd like to do it myself.
Yeah, but you're doing something different, Mark. What the product that you're launching initially isn't. You're not going head to head with these companies. No. That's what makes it different because you kind of.
It's not a Me Too product.
Yeah.
It's not a Me Too product, and that's the biggest thing I said is I'm not doing a Me Too product. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying in this competitive industry, I've seen a lot of companies come and go because they're trying to come out with the next best pre-workout or next best fat burner. Listen, that's an uphill climb that I just am not willing to take.
Right.
I'd rather come out with something innovative, creating a new category, create a new thing that somebody just like was under everybody's nose and nobody really realized it or don't have faith in it until it becomes popular. Sometimes something, you ever see something where you go, man, why didn't I think of that? And then the guy's making millions.
Well, the funny thing is, Mark, that you have a lot of people that probably thought what you're thinking or what you actually thought. The problem is they won't execute. You're executing.
Well, I haven't let up. I honestly, Lou, I've been working on this a year and a half.
Yeah, but that shows your tenacity.
We're going to start shipping June 1st. So
great.
it's actually getting bottled today, and we should have it in our warehouse by next week. And then we send it off to Informed Choice to get our third-party testing so we can get a certificate of analysis, because they're basically, it's like for sports testing, so athletes can take it and feel safe that, they're not taking anything that they shouldn't be taking. And then once that certificate of analysis comes back, then we can start filling all our orders. And I've already got pre-orders. I already have accounts and stores that's already pre-ordered. So we're pretty excited. I mean,
you're looking to be a game changer, because you're, people that are listening to this show right now, I don't know if they're getting what you're saying. You're not pigeonholing yourself into bodybuilding. You're going broad-based. You're going broad-based.
No, we're going widespread, mainstream. Honestly, we're going to target. I'm down here in Florida, so we are going to target the golf market big time.
Oh yeah.
We're going after golfers. We're going to go after tennis. I want to focus on the over 40 crowd, because I would imagine that a very high percentage of people in their 40s and over are going to experience some type of aches and pains and joint pain and things like that. So, we're going to be doing a lot of promoting in the golf magazines and we kind of have like a different like we have like a thing, kind of like stay, like a kick, like stay active or be active or something like that, because who wants to sit around and just not do anything, grow old and just not feel comfortable if you don't have to be.
Yeah, and I would imagine that your marketing campaign is not just going to be, I'm Mark Alvisi, and I'm here, and this is me, and you can be like me type of thing. Yeah, I mean, you're going more realistic.
Well, yeah. I mean, the bodybuilding industry is big, but it pales in comparison to the mainstream audience, where it's. I want to widen our funnel, if you will, of the demographic that we're going to kind of like expose to the product, because at the end of the day, this stuff works, and I stand behind it, because I'm a testament myself, and I've got hundreds of happy customers and testimonials that swears by this stuff.
And that's what you need, and I like what you're doing, because you're thinking long term. You're not thinking, well, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm gonna go do this now because I'm a bodybuilder. No, you're a businessman.
Yeah, well, that's like I told you back in the beginning of the program. Bodybuilder. I'm not that doesn't define me. Yes, I am a competitive bodybuilder. I have achieved some things. I've acquired some nice titles. But at the end of the day, I'm a businessman, and there's a handful of us, IFBB pros that are known for that. I mean, listen, look at Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
I look up to Jay Cutler for a lot of different reasons. I mean, he's a personal friend of mine, but you know what? I've always known that Jay is a businessman. I mean, he's heavily invested in real estate. He's working on this movie deal. I mean, he's not just all about just being the best bodybuilder, but you got to capitalize on all the things that come with the success on stage.
Yeah, I mean, I think that especially in the world of bodybuilding, if you want to look at the most successful bodybuilder of all time, I mean, again, it's Arnold. I mean, it sounds canned, but it's Arnold. But when he got involved in bodybuilding, okay, he was a bodybuilder, yes, but that didn't define him. He was like, wait a second, how can I go and live the American dream? I mean, geez, comes here living in Joe Gold's back room, becomes multi-time Mr. Olympia, makes millions, becomes rich, American citizen, marries a Kennedy, all this stuff. I mean, if that's not the American dream, I don't know what is.
Well, yeah, I think he owns half of the real estate in California. I mean, you know, movie star. I mean, listen, that is, you know, and that's why Arnold is probably the most recognized name across the board in for the bodybuilding community. I mean, if you go up to someone that doesn't even follow bodybuilding and say, hey, who, you know, when I say bodybuilding, who do you think of? They're going to say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
You know, but you know what? That's because, not because he's a bodybuilder, because he had that passion to turn everything that he did into something successful. And I mean, that's just a mindset.
Yeah, and that's exactly, it's a mindset, and that's where you're at, and that's where you've been at, you know, since you got involved in this industry.
Yeah. Well, you know, you never know where you never know where the road's going to end up or where it's going to lead you. But I just believe that, you know, it's just, you just got to pick the right vehicle. You know, sometimes you jump in a car and it doesn't go where you want it to go. So you don't get rid of, you just jump in another car. You find another vehicle. And, you know, trust me, I've had to bail out of a handful of vehicles, you know, over the last 20 years, you know, on you know, trying to get to where I want to be. But I feel very confident about this new product line. You know, it's a concentrated liquid. It's hydrolyzed collagen protein. All collagen protein is not created equal. It's a very high-end pharmaceutical grade version because it is being made by this pharmaceutical company. You know, because they have to abide by certain regulations, guidelines, and or they can't use that stuff. You know, you know, for the medical side of things. But I'm also, you know, my next formula is going to be the protein water, meaning this stuff is concentrated. There's 18 grams of protein in 1 ounce, 0 carbs, 0 fat, very little sodium. So it's all protein. It's all pre-digested, so it absorbs immediately, and it's 100% water soluble. Meaning, I could pour that in a bottle of vitamin water, and now you've got vitamin water with 25 grams of protein, 40 grams of protein, whatever we dose it at. So the next succession is going to be, you know, additional flavors of the concentrate, but then we're also going to be releasing our protein water, if you will, which will be one of few that's on the market, but it will be the only protein water that I'm aware of that is going to give you all the benefits of the collagens.
No, that's thinking outside of the box, my man. You know, and I'm glad that you're doing that because, you know, just again this whole show, I see where you're going, and yeah, bam, you know, you're going to have something that's going to really fly. In my opinion, because it just makes too much sense. You know, with what you're doing.
I feel that way. I feel that way.
Well, even your product, the product that you're talking about, you can actually go. You got Major League Baseball. You have the NFL. People are hurt. You have relievers that there's your shoulders. You get hurt. This is what happens. Basketball. If you can take something like this that can help you and give you a little edge, and you're having your body repair, and it's legal, why not?
Well, way ahead of you, Lou.
Yeah.
I got to tell you that, we already are, we're deep into, I don't want to say negotiations, but we've already covered that. A personal friend of mine is Ray Lewis that plays for the Baltimore Ravens. He has a house down here, probably 5 minutes from where I live. Of course, it is on the beach and slightly more expensive.
So slightly, right?
Slightly. It's a beautiful house. But Ray is a very well respected guy in the NFL. Probably one of the most feared guys in the NFL, and he's known for, he's a defensive lineman. He's known for crushing people.
So, I mean, I have a lot of respect for him. I'm not a Ravens fan. I'm a Steelers fan, so it's hard for me to love the team. But I have a lot of respect for Ray Lewis.
Yeah, well, I put him on the product. I mean, I let him try it back before football season started, because he had a problem with his elbows and they were bothering him. And last time I spoke to him, he says, "Man, I don't know, I can't believe it, but my elbows don't hurt anymore." And I said, "Well, I told you so, Ray." So he's pretty jacked up about the product, and he's gonna endorse our product, meaning like he's gonna give us his endorsement or testimonial, And so I already got like some sports high profile athletes that are going to kind of get behind us on this.
Oh, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff, and I mean, and thanks for getting him healthy. Crap.
Oh, yeah. He's a bad man.
Yeah, I know, and football hasn't started yet. So, but no, it's good because he's definitely he's a Hall of Famer. Period. The end. He hasn't. He's going to be there. But if that product is helping him, and he pushes himself to the limit. That I do know.
Absolutely. Ray is so into he's so into keeping his body healthy and functional. And I mean, I go to his house and he's got like a little gym in his garage, and he's really big into like eating right and feeding the body properly. And so this was kind of like right up his alley. He was excited about trying it. So I know that we're gonna he'll at least give us the thumbs up as far as spreading the word that it is a great product. So it always helps with someone like him that's so much credibility.
Oh, without a doubt, and he's not a youngster either, and that actually helps you more. With showing that hey, this product works. If it's working on a professional athlete, to allow him to perform at his highest level without the aches and pains after. I mean, you'll always have pains because you get beat up playing football, but not having that when you wake up in the morning, that crick in your elbow or your crack in your shoulder and your back. And these are all the noises my body's making right now, by the way.
Yeah, well, you know what? And the thing is, like, I'm 35 years old, but when you're actively training, I know for me personally, in the gym, and you're pulling heavy weight, you're pushing heavy weight. A lot of times, what I even developed even early on was just this aching pain deep in the muscle, whether it's your forearms or your elbow or you just these things. It's connective tissue inflammation,
right?
And there's no amount of rest you could do, really. I mean, unless the doctor used to say, "Oh, you can't work out for 6 months." Yeah, right. That's not an option.
Not an option at all.
Are you kidding me? So the thing that really made me get excited is I took this stuff and it just does not hurt. And then I'm thinking, man, I'm crazy. But when all my customers are coming in and raving about it, because I ask them, they come back to get another bottle, and I go, how do you feel? Oh, I can't believe my shoulder doesn't hurt anymore. Oh, man, my hip doesn't hurt anymore. Oh, this thing healed as fast. I even had one customer in particular, his wife was a cancer patient. She was going through chemotherapy, and she had all these chemical burns on her skin from the chemo.
Oh, wow.
And so he was coming in and getting this stuff for her because she couldn't even keep anything down. So she was actually losing weight because she couldn't eat. So because there was such a strong dose of protein and it was pre-digested, so it was easy to get down, it was the only thing that she could keep down without throwing up. But the benefit was her chemical burns healed. And, I don't want to say that's you got to be careful how you market these things. But
of course.
He told me that those chemical burns, the doctors were amazed at how quickly they went away in a fraction of the time. But again, collagen is the key component in your skin.
Right.
So, if you have a deficiency, which happens naturally, it's going to take you longer to heal, and it's going to take you longer to regenerate.
Yeah.
And that's one of the added benefits. So, it's pretty exciting. We're going to go in a lot of different directions with it. I mean, I already know what my sixth product I want to be is, but
well,
of course I've got to wait.
But you're forward thinking. You're forward thinking, Mark, and you're thinking down the road because you have
to.
I'm
excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Because I stay up at night doing research, and believe it or not, they're a little bit more ahead of the game in Europe with some of this stuff. Believe it or not.
Oh, I believe it because they don't have to go through these stringent regulations that you have here in the States with the FDA and everything. So, you know, they can push something out quickly and give it a run, and then by the time it gets to you, hey, they already tested it out for the past 3 years, so we're doing all right.
Well, yeah, you know, Europeans are sometimes they're a little bit more open-minded too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know,
12
over here it's like, oh man, well, that's crazy. You know, that's been around for years. Yeah, but believe it or not, they're all a little bit different. Not all collagen is created equal, just like not all protein is created equal. I mean, you could look at it like this. Okay, think of about a piece of steak. All right, you got a cow, steak to steak, right? Well, it's a completely different experience if you have bottom round or if you have a fillet.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same animal, but it's a different portion of the animal, and it's a whole different quality of meat.
Right.
So think about that one.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, that's a good analogy, you know. And what you're bringing to the table, you know, I think you have a hit. Just that when it hits, oof, I don't know. You're going to be doing so well. You're going to say, Lou who? Lou what? I don't know you.
No, don't worry, Lou. I just want you to bring me on the show again.
Yeah. Definitely.
Exciting to talk about, like our first year.
Yeah, man. You have an open invitation to come on the show and talk about it, give updates. You know, because our listeners definitely want to hear about what you're doing. You know, look, you've done. I think your story is pretty amazing because you went from, again, you know, being a first generation Italian American. Learning that you had to go fight for what you had to fight for. You started training, you joined the military, you became, you were part of the Special Forces in the Army, okay? You did that, came out, bodybuild, champion, IFBB pro, doing your own thing. It took balls to go and create your own, go on your own and do your own thing. You are on the path to shining brighter and brighter, and I see it. You know, because I've seen you over the years come to where you are right now.
Well, I appreciate the recognition of at least the direction I'm trying to get. That's for sure. I mean, I tell you, some days I wake up and I'm just tired.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
Yeah, but you know what? That's okay because it's all for a reason, and what you're doing is going to pay off in the long run. You know, for sure. Now, Mark, can you just let our listeners know how can they find out more about your store and your product line? That's first thing.
Okay. Well, the name of the store is Pro Sports Nutrition. We've got a Facebook page. It's just Facebook.com/Pro Sports Nutrition, or you could just do the search Pro Sports Nutrition on Facebook. You can also go to our online website. That we've got about over 2,000 products on the website that basically they'll ship it out same day you order it. And that's prosportsnutritiononline.com. And if anybody ever wants to call the store, the phone number to the store is 561-450-7315. And you can also get that phone number off of the Facebook page or the website. And, you know, a lot of times I work with athletes at the local level getting ready for contests, even athletes going at the national level. You know, I do some coaching and, you know, give them suggestions on, you know, nutrition and training and everything else. If someone's local, they can come in and, you know, I can go everything with them in person. If not, over the phone, you know, I could do phone consultations and email and pictures and everything else. That's how I've done it with my coach, Hani Rambod, in the past.
Mm-hmm. But it's not it's not just bodybuilding. You can do this for celebrities and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah. It doesn't. You know, you don't have to step on stage. We just got to get your body going in the direction you want to go.
Right.
You know, it's the competition diet is just something a little bit more extreme.
Right.
You know, but same token, you know, you're going to be doing some of the same things or a lot of the same things, which is cleaning up your diet and cutting out certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if your goal is to drop body fat, just obviously if you want to step on stage, it's going to be a little bit more labor intensive, you know, a little more stretch and might take you a little bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, and I obviously just over the years of my own personal experience of competing and getting myself ready for contests and working with other athletes and then working with, you know, some of the best coaches in the industry, you know, you learn a lot with that in the trenches experience.
Yeah, no, I mean, your background, your experience, what you've been through, you can actually bring a lot of enhancement to I mean, whether it's someone that's looking to get on stage or someone that's looking to train just to stay in the best shape that they want to stay in, or a model or an actor, actress that you're looking to get into shape for a part. Okay, come to you. Especially in Florida, you have a lot of stuff going on there. So they come to you, they can get into the best shape of their lives.
Yeah, and, you know, it's really not as hard as people make it out to be. You know, it's really, if you have a blueprint for what you need to be focusing on for the next 12 to 16 weeks, and you just do it, and you believe in the person that's giving you this blueprint, it makes it a lot easier because you just march, you know? And it's amazing because then people go, oh, my God, I can't believe it. You told me to do this. I did, you know, and they just can't believe it. And, you know, one thing that I've always said is the confused mind says no. If you're not sure if this effort that you're giving this thing is not necessarily what you should be doing, when you don't feel like doing it, you're probably not going to do it.
Right. Well, it's you said it earlier. It's a mindset.
Yeah. So it always helps when you got somebody to say, okay, you came to me because obviously you feel like I have something that of value that I can offer you information-wise. So let me do my job. Just follow this program, and you're gonna get those results you're looking for. And the thing is, it makes it a lot easier for someone to stick to the program if someone's guiding them through it.
Yeah, well, without a doubt, and with your guidance, you know, how can they lose? You know, and that's it. And you're also on Twitter. I found that out today.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because there's so many different things. Facebook, you know, my kind of died, but I've been trying to post more and more on Twitter. This stuff will keep you busy all day. I mean, it's like I got, you know, I don't sleep at night anymore. You know, trying to launch this product and, you know, work in the store and everything else. But Twitter's cool. I'm trying to build up my Twitter fan base because it seems like it's a big deal now. So. Yeah, it's always going to be, you got to get that content out there.
Oh, yeah.
Social media is huge.
Well, as of today, I'm following you, so that's a start in the right direction. That's a push in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just make sure you spell my name right. It's Alvisi, Alvisi.
Well, there's only one. There's only one.
Well, there's only one in pro bodybuilding, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, and I think that anyone that's listening, follow Mark Alvisi on Twitter. Go to prosportsnutritiononline.com. Check out the product line. Definitely find out more about the new product. Now, what's the name of the new product, Mark?
The brand name. Is Revive Sciences.
Revive Sciences.
And we also have, we got a Facebook page, Facebook.com/Revive Sciences. And, you can go to revivesciences.com. We have a landing page up there right now. I'm told that our web guy is going to have our site live by next week. Again, I'm reiterating, I'm told that because every time I'm told something, it's supposed to be next week. It happens to be the week. It's so funny because it's so frustrating sometimes when you're trying to launch a company because it's everything. It's your order sheets, credit card authorization forms, labels, barcodes, bottles. I mean, it's a learning experience, and nothing happens when it's supposed to.
Yeah, but
it always takes a little longer.
Yeah, of course. But you know something? You learn the gambit of everything, and then later on you're not doing this stuff, but because you know when somebody's doing something wrong, so you can kind of slap them around and put them on the right track to helping your business to continue to be profitable.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I've been told by everybody I've been consulting with that launching a new product, or launching a new brand. I mean, it's the hardest part is the very beginning, but then once you establish your procedures and, you've got your manufacturer, you got your bottle guy, you got your cap guy, you got your label guy, you got your graphics guy, you got everything that's already set, you got your stock of everything, then it should run fairly smoothly. So I'm excited about getting it kicked into, cruise control so I can go out here and hit the streets and go, I'm going to focus a lot of my marketing efforts on Florida in the beginning. as far as like going out there and meeting with not only nutrition store owners, but, you know, chiropractic clinics, plastic surgeons. I mean, I've got accounts that are chiropractors, plastic surgeons that really enjoy the product. So, again, I'm not just focusing just on nutrition stores.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're doing a smart thing, Mark, no doubt about it, and I really have no doubt that you're going to be very successful in what you do. You know, and again, I have to reiterate, I implore our listeners to follow you on Twitter and find out more about, again, what you're doing. Go to your website and people, you know, Mark Alvisi, he's a champion. Okay, and he's an Olympic competitor. He's a Mr. Olympia competitor, not Olympic, Mr. Olympia competitor. And what you're doing, you're creating a story that I'm sure down the road someone is going to take your outline so that they can utilize that to be successful as well. You're going to save.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're going to save them a lot of pain, not only in the joints but in the pocketbook.
Yeah, well, I know. I'll tell you what, that's one thing that, I mean, listen, I've learned a lot of good bullet points and sayings and words of advice from people that came before me, you know, that I've tried to emulate. And, listen, you got to be bad to be good. But then at the same time, you don't have to make all the mistakes yourself. You can learn from someone that already made those mistakes and save yourself a little bit of time and money, and that's what I've been trying to do.
Well, you know what? And people can learn from your mistakes and just learn from your successes, emulate that, and boom. You know, then
listen. Everybody screws up sometimes, or say, you know, it just listen. Just like I said, you got to be bad to be good.
Yeah.
You know, it happens. You know, and the thing is, it's a learning experience. I think we're put on this earth because it's not just about the end result. I think it's about the lessons that we learn, you know, every day,
no
and
doubt.
experiences that we go through, and it helps you mold you into a better person.
I couldn't agree with you more. And living inside the box is no fun anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is true.
Yeah, let's draw outside the lines and let's get it done. Mark, you know, I thank you for coming on the show, man. This has been enlightening, and I want to have you on later. Another time when you have your products out there, more so because you're launching June 1st. But when you have everything rocking and rolling, I want to learn more about what you're doing, bringing you on for a quick update so our listeners can keep following what you're doing and embrace your new brand, your new brand that I mean, shoot, you know, this can be a household name.
Well, that's my vision. You know, I mean, I've always thought real big. So I'm gonna try like hell to make that happen.
Well, go hard or go home, right?
Well, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, no joke. Mark, thank you, my man. I appreciate it. And, you know, we're going to be looking out for your new brand, Revive. And you know, everyone go to prosportsnutritiononline.com. Check it out. And, you know, support, Mark Alvisi as he's getting everything rocking and rolling.
And, Lou, I really want to thank you for asking me to come on the show. I really appreciate it. I think it's a great opportunity. And, I just want to kind of get this out there. And thanks for the opportunity.
You got it, brother. No problem. This has been a couple of years in the making, but we finally got it, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Better late than never.
No doubt about it, my man. All right. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks a lot, Lou.
Okay, bye-bye.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.